back in the yard. The 210 has filtered back in. We got a few machines coming back. The 210 actually hasn't met its little brother, the 160, yet. They haven't met yet, so we'll have to see what happens when that time comes. But we got bottom roller issue here on this 210. We only have one bed. I gotta thank FridayParts.com again for hooking me up with the rollers. Let's check it out. Now, I've put a lot of rollers on machines in my day, and I'll tell you, they are tennis elbow big problems. So I'm gonna build a contraption to help me get this in, because you can't lift this up and line these bolts up. It's all machine fit. It's got to be perfect. And man, I tell you, I did one on a DC 100 dozer, and the rollers are about the same size as these ones. But I'm gonna build something. We'll do it together. First time building something, a jig to hang it and get it up in there. There's many different ways. Some guys use jacks, some guys use other things, but we'll build something. But here, all the bottom rollers are good on this machine except for one, so I think it's just a fluke this went out, because even the lips aren't wore on these ones, and I ran them. But you can see this one is, the bearings are completely gone. So she was squeaking, but you can see there's a lot of meat left on that. That doesn't mean the bearings aren't going to go. Usually when one goes, they kind of all go, but I ordered two from them, and let's just see. We're going to install the one in it, and then if they go, then we'll get the rest of them in next year if they start to go one at a time, because you don't want to chase it for the next 5 years. But thankfully, it's just this one right now. And we'll take the boom of the machine, set it up, lift this up, lower the track right on out, and take a breaker bar and pull those off. You're gonna need 2 of them out to build the bracket. Now, I always keep all my scraps and stuff for a reason, because you never know what you're gonna get into. And some angle iron is what I need. I got a big piece here, but I got some crates from over the years of things I bought that I'll cut up and work. As you see, all my rollers down here, I got piles and miles of rollers. Let's see if we can find that DC 100 roller. There's an idler. Yeah, here's the DC 100. See, this guy's a big guy too, and these almost killed me getting these in by myself, holding them up and doing it. I had no jack, no nothing. But that 210's actually a little bit bigger, maybe a tad bigger. These ones were for the 88 Komatsu, and that's the SVL 90 Kubota front idler. Let's go over to the scrap pile, see what we got in there. All right, here's my scrappity dappity do. I was looking at this earlier. This would work, but it was kind of too much. This is basically what I got to build, but I have to narrow it and make it like this big, so a roller could sit here, a roller here, and a bracket coming up. But there's a lot. This has already been fabricated once before, so that's why it's in the scrap pile. But too much cutting around. Let's see if we can find something easier. Over on this side, I think this is where we're going to be at, right here. There's an old crate here that I already cut off some parts, so I could use this L here. I'll cut this off, put that L here. It's got to make a box like this, and then the rollers sit in there, you know. So let's get this cut apart and start welding. Let's jump around here. Anyways, first things first, you see how this is shiny, this is painted. Make sure whenever you put any rollers on that's metal on metal, you take the paint off, okay? Even if you're doing track pads on some old chains, take the paint off, because this paint acts as a shim, and it's about that thick, and over time it just keeps squeezing down and then wearing down, and the next thing you know, you got loose rollers or loose track pads. If you don't do them on track pads, you will fight them track pads for 10 years. See what else we got. Friday Parts sent us. Oh, what's in here? Oh, look at this. Wow, new sprocket for the 160. Woo! We got 2 new sprockets, another roller there. Always hooking us up. FridayParts.com. That will be for a future video though on that one. All right, that's what we got to work with here. That should, I might need a, it's got to be 42 inches long. You got to make it big, so because basically where you have your upright, okay, it's got to be able to teeter. We're making a teeter-totter where it balances. So whatever you would come out, wherever that upright comes up, you got to have the same amount coming out. And you'll see that in the video. Stay tuned, don't skip, because I know that probably doesn't make sense right now. All right, now you're starting to get the picture. Here's our cradle. We only need this 8 inches wide. We'll cut that to 42 once, then we'll put our cross piece in there. So let's get you down here, get a mark on this. 8 inches. So 8 will give us an 1/8 or so on each side of it. We'll put a mark here. Just when we go to weld, we can put it right back together, and that's where we're gonna cut that right now there, and then come down on this side and just get it close to 8 inches, just for right there, just to make sure we're all good on our marks here. Good. We'll cut that right now at 8 inches. That gets welded in there. We're gonna put a cross piece in here, end piece, just like how we have this end piece, and our bracket is done. Weld one upright, simple, easy. This should make my life awesome. There she is. Get her all welded up. Okay, slight field adjustment as any project. Before I weld it up, I put the roller in there just to make sure, but because this is concave, you're not going to measure on the outside because it's going to hit here before it hits out there. As you see, I measured here, so we don't need it. It would still work here, it would catch in there, but it might, because of the weight, might dimple that. So get more beef in there, make sure that's tight, and give yourself a little bit of, you know, 1/4 inch on each side or whatever, and I think that will be fine. And we'll measure that what it is and make it the same down there. Alright, there's my end cap piece. Get all this welded up. I mean, things are tweaked from this being a pallet rack getting hit around in the yard and stuff, but it's going to be close enough. You get it welded and then try to rack it back if things aren't straight, like, you know, like this piece here. It's just that this is just warped or bent. I might hit it with a sledge or two. We'll see what happens. But I think it's pretty good. Easiest way to grind your spots is just put a marker where it's going to be. Now the mark is there. You're just going to grind that marker until it's off. And you know your weld's going to be there. You ain't got to go crazy with this. A little tack welding. Alright, I decided to go with an L bracket in the center too, because it's going to give me more support when I go to hang this. I could weld that. I don't think there'll be this little bit more meat, because you got to be 21 now. If this is a 42-inch bracket, we got to be 21 off here, because a roller's going to sit here and a roller's going to sit there. So it's got to be balanced where it's hanging to teeter. And if it's not a little bit, give yourself enough room to rock the roller an inch each way to get that to be balanced. Because if you make it super tight, then you're done if it's off a little bit. So I think that's going to work just like that. The other thing is why it's so big now. The roller itself is only 9 inches. Okay, we in our bracket we had to go to 20, which on the outside I'm gonna have to get to 21. So we'll have to figure that out, because I got a wide track on this. We have to make sure that this upright clears the track so I could put a hook on here, a chain, and hang it with another machine. Now if you use a set of forks and a skid steer, you'll be under it, you know what I mean? But if you're using it, I'm going to use the mini, which I'll be up here with the knuckle. The chain will come down, but I have to clear this track with the chain. All right, that's why I had to make the bracket so big. If you were staying under here, which, you know, more stuff under here is more stuff right next to your face and head and trying to work. So get everything up out of the way. Again, this is my first time building something like this with you guys, so you're a part of the process. So this could be a total bust. Who knows? Stay tuned. Now, I'm always a MIG welder. I never really use stick, but I just picked this up because it was a good deal. And I'm just going to attempt to go sticky. It don't matter. We're only tack welding. I use flux core on the MIG welder, which allows you to weld in the wind and dirty steel, which this steel is pretty dirty, but I think I'll be all right. 70-18 rod, I think. Boom, boom, boom. Give a shout out to Crazy Carl hooking me up with this nifty Lincoln. Let's get her going. Not the prettiest, but that's all she needs to be, is bubble gummed in. I'll tell you, stick welding's for the birds. There ain't nothing like a MIG welder. That stick welder, dang, keeps sticking on me, and you touch this, touch that, boy, it gets annoying. All right, so our cage is built. All we got left to do is throw this little doobie on there, weld that on, and I think we're going to set the rollers in there to see if it works. Weld it straight. Go to town. Oh, these are heavy. That's it right there. So you pop the old one off, okay? If you had two new ones, it would work too. You just need the same weight, okay? So you take the old one off, slap it here. Now the old one's got bearings ripped out, so it's gonna be a little lighter, but it gives you enough room in this tray to make it work. This gets hung. Now this acts like a teeter-totter. So what's gonna happen is, it's like this, okay? Here's your upright, roller, roller. You raise it up with the machine, you bring it in, and you bring these bolt holes right to it. And you just tighten the bolt holes in, and tighten the bolts. And that's how I think it's gonna work. You know, just lift this up. It should work. Otherwise, I mean, I've been on my belly, hands up, wedged up, blocks, this, that. And if you don't get these things lined in, or if you get, God forbid, get one cross-threaded, then you're in real trouble. So this is good, and I can modify this for any size roller, because I could always just put a piece in here temporarily. You could set anything in there. So this cage will work and do its purpose. Obviously, they're bubblegum welds. They're not the best welds for a stick welder. I'm not a welder, but they are going to work. They are going to hold up. Ned, I may need a little assistance on the stick welding. I need a lesson or two. So again, we got to raise this up. We got to pull 4 bolts off of that, loosen the track right up. To get access to work in there. You know, you just take the grease out, drop it down, go in the van, get yourself one of these doobies. That will work. This will work. Chain will go through here. Good to go, baby girl. We're good to go. All right, so as we all know, and if you don't ever get under a machine. Don't ever trust hydraulics. Put some blocking here and stay away from danger. Simple as that. Even if you think you're away here, okay, you're away from under here, guess what? This thing comes down on your head, you're done. Here's the bad roller. You can test all the other rollers by spinning them. And they should spin freely like this. with a lot of friction in there, not grinding, but like it's hard to turn. That means you're nice and tight, packed. It's got oil in them. Here's a little oil port right here. So if you ever seen oil leaking out and the seals aren't that bad, you could take this Allen key and throw gear oil in there or whatever they specify with your machine. Some use actual motor oil, some use gear oil. Okay, we're just gonna get the measurement or the size for this right now, get them all broke loose, get this thing rigged up with some blocks underneath it. This is just to break these loose, being this high. Once we get to where we're going to put the other one in, because it's going to come in level, and obviously you see the rollers tilt like this, we got to come in level, so this will be lower. All right, big pipes and big wrenches are your friend in this scenario. Inch and a 16. You heard it. Break it loose. You heard it. We are clear from anything from hitting us. You heard it. And you guessed it. All right, get them hand loose. We'll just go with a regular ratchet and get them done. Once this is off, we'll lower it, we'll crib it with wood, get everything so we can work under here. We're nowhere near danger right now. As soon as I get these off, I won't take it out, I promise. We will get back with you. Oh, I'll show you one bolt. Here we go. And these are pricey. They're fine thread metric, as you see, and they do stick up. I believe on my other machine they did. I wish they went flush. These ones are pretty. Yeah, they look like they're full thread, so they should go flush like this to the top of this, because this plate is the plate. Some of them stick up through, then they get so rusty here, then you're done. You can't get them out, and you end up breaking them. That happened on my dozer, which, that's New Holland versus Kubota. I think Kubota thinks a little bit better, if you know what I mean. Because there would be dirt, watch. There's only dirt on the top, which tells me it's in this 3/4 inch plate. See, dirt on the top, there would be dirt right there, and then clean. So you can see that 1/2 inch is all inside. Perfecto. Good job, Kubota. So as you see, I didn't lower the tracks yet, and that's intentionally because we do not want this dropping out and just dropping out and whacking your wrist, whacking you know, rolling out and hitting your ankle. So we're trapping it in there, which is ideal. Leave that one still threaded, because this you don't want it to drop down on you. You want to be able to control it. So just make sure that's got one turn on it, and the roller's going to roll on out. And you know, the ones on the end, you got to use these wrenches, but once these tracks are dropped out, you can put an impact on them, because the tracks will be a foot lower in the center. So the center ones, you could actually get impacts and go to loosen and tighten, but this one's got good access because I'm not under the machine. It's a big job if you got to replace 16 of these, I tell you that. Doing one isn't a big deal. And there she is. She dropped out. All right, she's out loose, and she's caught with this, which is nice. The track is holding it in, so it couldn't fall out, because like I said, this thing rolls out on you, you're in trouble. So now at this point, we'll lower the grease in the track, which will free me up on here, and we'll get this one out. I mean, I probably could poke and pry and get that out, but there's no reason. We've got to lower the track anyways. You're not going to need to lower the track a huge amount. Don't take all the grease out. If you were doing all the rollers, yes, you want everything out, but we're just going to cheat the system and take down enough to get clearance to get new one in. So a few inches should do us, 3-4 inches. We're good to go. All right, you're gonna go to the idler side, and there is a 3/4 inch grease fitting in there, nut with a grease fitting in it. Just gonna loosen it and drop this track out. You'll see the grease drop and the track start to go. She's going now. What's happening is the idler's coming back. This cylinder's full of grease, and that's how you pump tracks up and down. I know most guys know this, but just talking as I'm going, as you see grease blobbing out. I'm going nice and slow. You could, and we're clear, and we're gonna tighten it back up. That way we don't lose all the grease that we need. We're down. Let's just spin that out, and now our new one will come right in here and go right on up. Get on out, boy. Plenty good. And here's our nasty roller, making all that noise. Not a bearing left in it. And it could just been a fluke because the meat is still good, you know what I mean? The machine's got 3,700 hours. You know, they could, I've seen rollers go up way higher than that, and I've seen them go a lot less. So, but I did check every roller, and it's just like I said, usually they all go, you'll get 2 or 3 go at instant. So then you replace them all, you know what I mean? But when there's just one and the rest feel all tight, there's no sense in spending the thousands and thousands of dollars and then the labor to do it too, you know? Not yet. All right, let's get in our rig, and there we go. That's what we're looking at right there. That is done. We'll hook a chain there and then slide these back and forth to where they gotta be, you know, to make it level. New one goes right in. Again, this one's gonna be a little lighter because it doesn't have oil or bearings in it, so that means we're probably gonna have to slide it out a little more to give it more counterweight this way. All right, I was just cleaning to make sure there was no dirt or debris under there, and I had like a big dimple there on each side of that one, and you could see the roller where it was digging in here big time. So previous owner definitely heard that and knew that. That's been going for a while, and should have been changed, because I felt right here and I felt this big dimple. I'm like, whoa, a metal. Not a big deal. You can see it was rubbing in on this side too. I'm just gonna take this and clean it up. Good enough. All right, I got my wood blocks on the left and the right. Just gonna lower it down just almost till they touch. That's how where it's probably got to be anyways. All right, we got the clearance there. We're gonna back on up, spin this around. I do have a swivel. I'm probably gonna swap that out for my swivel mount. I didn't, it's in the van. I'll have to grab that one. We'll set it on the ground and get it. See what we got cracked? Can you even see me? What's going on here? You can't even see what I got cracking. You didn't yell to me enough to know that you couldn't see what I was doing. We just reversed everything and we're just gonna slap these in there and that will give me a swivel. There. Now, she's on a swivel. Now let's do it. Watch the boom up above. I want to hit the boom. Stop me there. I gotta sand that other side real quick. Gotta sand that other piece of paint right here. And then we're gonna go. Should be pretty easy. We're just gonna slide this in like that and get it to where it's gotta be. I mean, this is night and day difference. Not even a slight comparison. If anybody's ever done this without any type of rigging or just on your back and using your wrists and elbows, boy, it takes an hour probably just to get it in. And the strength, you gotta have He-Man strength, you know, or should I say dirt boss strength. All right, we're gonna get that cleaned up and get right with you. I got a little 5-minute sand job. All right, I'm back with you. Now you gotta remember, there is a direction to these. Even though there isn't, if you screw it up, it's not a big deal, but there is an oil port Allen key on the side, on one side of those rollers. Just face them all out so you can always get to them. They're all facing out from factory, so just put it the same. It's right here, the Allen key. It will be on one of either side. Built that's going to be close for me to get in here and work now, because I put this at 21 and it measures 21, you know, like 20 and a half to this track to get out. So we should be able to just spin this right now and get this right in. We may have to lower it, not sure yet. All right, so we're in, but we just got to lower it and get over, so we'll be good. Let's let me set you set you here. You just keep an eye on it for me. There. Now this is what we got to do, is just slide the roller. You can either slide the roller in the cage or just move the cage to where it's got to be. And we got to go to you 2 inches, and then we can raise up. Be lined up enough to work that. We should the track really could be, well, no, the track's good. We just got to come straight up with it now. Right there is where we're lined up. Perfect. That actually that worked out nice. So we're straight now. We just got to come straight up, and I think we got the room there. And if not, we'll just re-rig If you didn't have the room, you could just re-rig your strap. I really can't say how nice that worked. Oh my God. Lord, holy lolly lolly. This is insane. This is insane. And so, like I said, you could just adjust this by moving this so slightly because you got all the leverage. Oh my, this is just crazy how easy this is. And just put a bolt in, you know. I gotta get that bolt. I gotta get that bolt fed in because it hits there. So let me just think what I gotta do. Just gotta rotate some things. Once I rotate this a little bit, I should be able to get that bolt in. Rotate the roller just like that, and once they're in, then they stay in. So for the future, just so you know, put that bolt in first, and then it stays there too, and it's not up there, so it's not going to hurt you. So that's another learning curve. That's worked out slick though. So I'm gonna get 4 of these bolts in, and then we're gonna go from there. We're gonna hand tighten them, then I'm going to lunch before I even crank this down. All right, those two are on the bracket. Let's get these back ones on. Oh, these ones are gonna be a little tougher. I may have to take it out and do it, but that ain't a big deal. You seen how easy it went in. I might as well show you that I got it out anyways. So you're just gonna slap these in here first, you know. Get them in where they gotta be. Like so, like so. Now when you rotate it, they'll all stay in. And they're locked in. Hey, don't make a liar of me. It's heavy, heavy guys. Don't want crunchy fingers. Now they get all dropped and they're below the thing. So we're good to go right here. Raise it up. Put it in. All right, she's back in, and no lie, it was just lined up. I just had a wiggle, jiggle, and these things got to be lined perfectly straight from the bottom to the top. If you're cocked, the bolt's cocked, because it's just, you know, you got a little wiggle room, but not, you guys that know. So got that in, and I got the back started. Now I can lower my cage and get on out. The thing is, you know, like I said, a learning process. I may have the clearance to drop the cage. If not, you just lower the track a little bit more. This is the only bolt that's not in, but I got 3 in, so I can take that, put that one in after the cage is out. I'm gonna drop the cage out and see if we even get it out. Let's just do it together. Yeah, I gotta get you a better position. So at this point, I'm gonna take the other roller off the cage. Now it's easy to move. I may be able to snake it out of here. Get on your side, I'll hook it from the straps. We're unhooked from the excavator. Just wanna make sure it wasn't on a bolt. You may be able to get it out. And like I said, obviously you can get it out, you just gotta lower the track. But we're trying to save some grease and just doing it for the purpose of doing it. You get that bolt out of here before we end up bending it. That, and now I think I can snake this out. Come on, baby. You're going back up now. You weren't supposed to do that. Oh yeah! Save some grease. Get this back up in where she's gotta be. Where'd I just put that? See, I can't even lift that. But yeah, we'll just we'll tighten the other one to draw it up, and then that one will be lined up and good to go. Now that you got the system down, you see how it goes. For me too, I mean, it take you a while to do them all. You got to drop them, get them in, but that system is unbelievable. And then you would have to, if we were doing them all, we would have the track all the way slacked off, which would have been, that wouldn't have no struggle going in and out. But nice and easy now to race here to get these in. Obviously you could jam them in with an impact if the track was down, but now we should be able to line this one up. Once you get all four lined up perfect, then you can go gun ho. But again, it's fine thread and it's easy to cross thread. Alright, we're snug on that side. Give the same amount of torque on that cheater bar. Bink. Let's get the back one at the angle, and then so you make like an X, and then they don't have to go super crazy, but you'll know when it's enough. Enough is enough. If too much, it's too much. I mean, you got a 6-foot bar, you don't need much pushing power. Which one did I do? This one. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Torque is ooga. I'm telling you guys, this is a lifesaver. Make this, make your life easier, and you can modify this any which way for any size machine. Now that you got it this big, it's for a 210. Obviously, if you're into the 400s, 500s, you're going to use bigger, beefier metal, longer, etc. But yeah, we're going to pump some grease in this, and then she is a done. And you know, I got to give a shout out to FridayParts.com, because it can't happen without them guys. Them guys are good to me all the time. It's FridayParts.com, guys. There is the logo right there, FridayParts.com. And I'll put their link right in the description of their website. Super easy website. I mean, you just type in your machine. Don't care if it's Komatsu, Kubota, Volvo. Don't care if it's a lawnmower, tractor, an engine rebuild kit for a Cummins. Anything you type in, they got 70,000 plus parts in stock. Know your measurement on your track, where your slack's got to be. Mine's about 13. Go to the center. The track's measured in the bottom of this. That's where you gotta be. There you know, let's get on there. Right on the track. Oh, look at that, 12.5. I'll stay with that. I was gonna say 13, but that's good enough. So 13, it's in between 12 and 13.5 is what recommends. You want to be in your center, which I wasn't in the center, so let's get in the center. Oh yeah, 12.5 still. All right. That track was actually a little tight. I'm glad I had that adjusted. This one I may have to slack off too. I tightened them on one job when I first got it, and then what happened was they got too tight on me. Then I had to loosen them, and now I think I'm getting a happy medium. You know, the machine, when I first bought this machine, it sat all winter, so they get, you know, they get corrosion, they get tight, the links, and then once you work them, they loosen back up, and you got to adjust your track if you decided to tighten it like I did. All right, well, again, guys, FridayParts.com, check them out. This was a success. We are going to get in there and give it a roll job right now and track our way out of here. We are at 13. Give myself a half inch. That's perfect. It's right where I want it to be. I knew once I tracked it, she would get to it. All right, tracking on out.